All right, so we are starting our section on composition of functions, and today is our introduction day. We're going to start with part one. So for part one, we need to make sure we understand what a composition of a function is, okay? The composition of a function, we're going to call it function G here, and function F is written as, it looks like G, I don't know what you want to call that, but it's composed of F. So this little circle here means composed. So G composed of F. And it means G composed of F means that you're putting the entire function of F into G and evaluating it. That means you have to do one function first and then solve the second one, okay? So you have to do something first and solve the second one. Think about yesterday on your discovery activity. You had to find the radius first at a certain time, right? Then once you found that radius at a certain time, you then found the area of that circle at that certain time. Does that make sense? That was composition. That's what the purpose of the discovery lesson was, to get you on hands-on dive into composition. Okay, so with composition, you work from inside to out. So you're going to start with the inside first. So you're going to evaluate f of x first. And then whatever you get from f of x, you're going to use it to evaluate g at that value. Okay, function composition is not commutative, meaning that these two things do not mean the same. If you look at f composed of g of x, this means you're doing g of x first. This is first, and then this is second. If you look at g composed of f of x, this is first, and then this is second, okay? All right, so we're gonna start with part one. Part one is using a table and graph. So we're gonna start simple. We're not having to calculate anything. We're just having to analyze tables and graphs. So here we go. So first up, we have a table composed of two outputs. There's only one input, which is your x, and we have two outputs. We have an output at f of x and an output at g of x. Do we see that? Yes. All right. So when we have f composed of g of 3, so we have f composed of g of 3. What that means is I'm going to first find g of 3 first. So g of 3 means I'm going to go where x equals 3 and find its value at g. So x equals 3. And I'm going to find its value at g, which is 2. So now we're replacing this with a 2. Do you see that? Now I'm going to go to x equals 2, and I'm going to go to f. So when I go to x equals 2 and I go to f, what do I get? 8. My final output is 8, and that is my answer. Okay, I'm going to give you a moment to try. You're going to do g composed of f at 3. Remember, we're working from the inside out. So working from the inside out, what do you need to find first? All right, let's see what we did. So where do we start first? We're going to start at f of 3. So we start at 3. So I'm starting at 3, and I'm going to which function, which output? F. So I get 3. So now I have g of 3. So I'm going to go back to 3, but this time I'm going to g, and we get 2. Can you find the composition of tables? Was that terrible? Okay, just remember, you're working your way from the inside to the out, okay? All right, here you go. Do both. So you're going to find f of g of 1 and find GF of 4 and then check with a elbow partner that you got it correct. Talk to each other and help each other. Are y'all good? So you start on the X. So the inside is going to always be your starting point. So you start with. So I just go to 4. So you'll go to 4, and then you're going to go to G, which you get 7. So now you're at F. And if there's no F7. Yeah. They're at F7. No, so they're there. So you're always the inside, going to always be your F. Yeah. Guess what? So there's no Q7. Yeah. Yeah, good. Did that. Yeah. All right, how we do? Good. You do the second one? The first one, I got 7 on it. For the second one, I got 3. Is there 7 for X? If there's that, if there isn't a value, then no. On the second one, the one that we went here. To F1. One way here. Yeah. Oh, I see what's like. I know. All right, guys, let's see how we did. Be careful. Remember, your input is always your X. Okay, that initial value, this is always your X. So when I have F of G of 1, this is telling me I'm starting X at 1, but I'm going to which output? G. So when I go to 1, my output is going to be 3. So now I'm at F of 3. My input again is 3. So when I go to 3, this time I'm going to F, and its output is, yeah, okay. Now we're going to do the other one. So we have G, F composed at 4. I see what happened. Where I was good. Yeah. All right, again, we're starting where? 4. I go to 4, and I'm going to F. That's what happened. That's what happened, John. You went to G instead of F first. Yeah. I was like, what did we did something weird. So now we're at G of 1. So now when I go to 1, what is my final output? You didn't see that. Yeah. 3. They both should have been 3. Okay. It's a, what do you call this? It's like a game, little puzzle. All right. How do you feel about tables? Do you think it's going to change with the graph? It's not. Same concept, but here we go. Okay. Now you have 2 graphs. Sometimes those 2 graphs are on the same coordinate. However, ours are on 2 separate ones, right? All right. So first up, we have It says F composed of G at 1. So where am I starting at? I'm starting at 1 on graph G. So I'm going to go to 1 on graph G. So this is graph G. I'm going to go to 1 and its output is what? 3. Does that make sense? So now I'm going to substitute that in and we have F of 3. So now I'm going to go to graph F and go to 3. Go to graph F, go to 3, and we get 6. So my final answer is 6. It's not bad, is it? Even if you wanted to complain today, you couldn't. You can't. All right, are you ready for you to do it? All right, here are your 2. So you have the bottom one, F composed of G at -6. And then you're going to do G composed of F at -4. And again, check with each other. Start from the inside and work your way out.
Whoa. How you doing? I don't. Oh. Whoops.
All right, let's see. Who wants to walk us through it? You want me to call someone random or someone wants to? August!
No.
All right, do the first one with us. What do we do?
So you do? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it says F of G of -6.
Perfect.
So we go to the G graph
Okay.
and go to the -6
Okay.
and
Mhm.
um
Okay. You're right. Ignore the hallway.
go to the -6.
And we get
-1.
no. What do we get, class? 3. You should have gotten 3.
Other graph.
And then we're gonna go where? Now we're gonna go to F and go to 3, and we get -2. So our final answer should have been -2. All right. Good job recovering him. All right, who's up next? Oh, okay. Oh, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. You want to take us from back there? Yeah. Where do I start first? Okay, we're on F. Go to -4, and we got what? Perfect. Uh-huh. And we get perfect. All right. So we can do tables and graphs compositions. We feel good about it? Yes, totally doable. Awesome. Thank you. So if we have like a quiz on this next Tuesday, on this part of the quiz, we should all do what?